Hello? Is this thing on? We may never know. Right. Let's see if we can get some sort of semblance of order here. Let's have music. Hello. Close this. Hopefully. Now, drivers, honestly. Bloody drivers. Can't get order with Freeman here. Yeah, true. Right, hopefully the fact that I've just restarted my computer means, you know, half a dozen unnecessary processes aren't running in the background and are gonna hog my CPU. But it's entirely plausible, so. Yeah, hi. Welcome to the perfectly sensible stream. Music might be a bit loud as well. Great. Excellent stuff. Okay, cool. Hi. How's everybody Sunday doing? We're back to paper. And this time, look, there's a cursor and everything. It's amazing. Ten 10 out of 10, perfectly sensible stream. So anti-fashional. Precisement. Alright. Well, here we go. Yeah, how's everybody's weekend been going? It was a bit laggy. Still loading. Everything's still loading. It's fine. Back in time for cake batter. Cake batter? Who has cake batter and why? Although I can probably guess the why bit. Okay, you finished Jesse's drawing. You did. It's very cool. Very good colouring and lighting, as always. So you're happy? Yeah. If we do another Fighting Fantasy book, we can use the poll system for decisions or just in general for questions. I guess so. We might not. Because those books, you know, bit hit and miss. So how's everybody's time doing? That's a sentence, right? I'm good at small talk. Stop playing up private. Yeah. So I should possibly explain what I'm doing. So yeah, the other day, my attention was drawn to a fantasy zine, about which not enough information was available for me to want to bother looking into any further. But they were holding a thing where people could submit stories, based around the theme of treasure. And I thought, oh, that's an interesting idea. And my brain decided to come up with a story about some gremlins. So yeah, I'm gonna draw some gremlins. You're okay. Well, expecting too much from too few people, but you have KFC now. Great. How's your tooth, by the way? Is that settled down or? Yeah, I don't really have much to talk about today. Your teeth are okay. Is the infection that feels like ping pong balls in your mouth is the issue. Got an emergency appointment for tomorrow. Oh, they do emergency appointments. Well, maybe yours don't, but you got one. That's nice. Yeah, no, infection doesn't sound great, does it? Probably feels even worse. Hi, Giro. How you doing? You alright? Emergency being 2 days later. I mean, given that it usually takes like a few months for me to book an appointment at the dentist, a couple of days isn't too bad. Haven't drawn anything today. Just throwing that out there. Hanging in there. Yeah. Just sketching ideas, seeing what comes out. How am I? I'm still here. So, not too much to complain about in that regard. Gremlins and spans? Maybe. I don't know. Also, hi, miss. How you doing? Welcome to this second half of the stream. Although, to be fair, since the second half started, Frame Man hasn't been yet, so I may have excised him. Yeah, how you doing? You doing alright? That's literally the only thing I have to say today, is how you doing? Although I did read your messages of Gremlins in space. I don't know why. Fluffy cuffs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why fluffy cuffs. Fluffy collar as well. This is not a moustache. Do I like the long coat? Maybe not. I just like the idea of the bottom half of the head being covered somehow. I guess it could be like a balaclava sort of thing, maybe. Space Gremlins? Probably not Space Gremlins. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah. I don't know what really fits. And this is only one of them. I've got to draw the other one. Yep. I want basically. I want their dynamic to essentially be. And like that. That's the dynamic that I'm going for. Managed to post your dumb joke and then probably got yeeted. Why have I drawn a penguin? Because. So I want to work out how to do this sort of what's causing this shape, I guess. It might just be short and fat. I do want it to have something over its. It's not a penguin, it's a spoon. These are spoons, obviously. See? Got a little handle. They're about to be dipped into a jar of honey. That's why it's screaming. It's covered in honey. You don't need a reason to draw a penguin. That is true. Penguins can be gremlins if they want to. Absolutely. Spoon. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to design these. They're just vague sort of things in my head at the moment. But what do you call the thing you dip in honey? Sticky. That's not a joke. You're genuinely curious. Comb? I know a honeycomb is a different thing, but I think they call that a comb as well. I don't know. Honey. Thing. I think it. I don't know. The internet hasn't told me I'm wrong. You know, I think a mix of a gremlin and a penguin would be a Prinny. Prinny the Elder? I feel like you should have a hat. It's just a honey dipper. Okay, that makes sense. That's boring. Yeah, I want them to have a sort of manic energy to them. Oh, right. Boo, you thought it would have a fun name. Let's come up with a name. Brilliant creatures in a video game called Disgaea. Ragdoll has posted an image, and they look cute. So I want to just, like, the temptation is just to sort of put them in rags or something, but that feels a bit... That might work. Might work for this one, at least. Imagine this one also has a stick. They explode if you eat them. I would advise not eating them then. That seems unpleasant. They seem like they're just going about their business. Probably. I don't know. Don't eat gremlin penguins. That's my controversial opinion of the day. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. The stick you stir porridge with is called a spurtle. Is it? Gotta think of a fun honey dipper name. Me neither. I'm probably going to do Strims in Disgaea this summer. The series is wild. Marvellous. Always good to have more weird game series being talked about. Because let's face it, you guys are sick of me talking about Final Fantasy. I stand around. I think this works better. It's a bit more gremlin-y. I like the fluffy coat, but this feels more appropriate. There'll be another coin for the FF jar. I was saying explicitly that I should stop talking about it. Well, I've designed them. What am I going to do for the rest of the stream? It's shaped like a tomberry. I mean, it's short and dumpy. That's about it, though. Tomberries do not have big ears, as far as I'm aware. Sort of changes the vibe of them a bit, doesn't it? Honorary gremlin. Fair enough. No, there you go. You go over there. Honorary gremlin. Okay, so I'm just going to draw these guys for a while. I have nothing else to talk about, really. Does anyone have any good conversation topics? What kind of weird bat is this? There's a gremlin with his ears up. Also, I don't know what a gremlin is. Yeah, I'm trying to work out what's going on here. Also, that kazoo is a bit strong in my ears. Anyway, yes. What? What a raconteur I am. I don't know. Did you know that the person who voice acts Piero in Dishonored is the person who plays Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings? There you go. You went a bit overboard with the cake. That's impossible. Is there a reason you're doodling gremlins and spoons, or is this for funsies? This is both. Do you remember me saying, was it on Friday? About the story I came up with these two gremlins, based on the zine that you showed me, that I ended up not doing anything about, but writing a story about anyway. He's holding a spoon. He's got his nose pressed up against it. You don't know who either of those people are? Well, I'll have to play Dishonored on stream. Can't play Lord of the Rings on stream, alas. Thought the spoon was part of his nose for the longest time. Now it's just sticking up against it. He's having a go at the person in the reflection. Are there not Lord of the Rings games? Probably. Probably not many with Wormtongue in. Noses get in the way of composition, turns out. I kind of know what's going on there. With Wormtongue, yeah, most Lord of the Rings games probably are action-oriented, and Wormtongue's not exactly an action character. Actually, in a Lord of the Rings game from 2008 or something, it probably got 5 minutes in and it was too scary for you. Oh. I'm in Lord of the Rings The Third Age, that was a JRPG style game. Ah. It's friends meeting an upside down them. I never trust it. The Gremlins have tail. They can do in my world. I don't think of what else I need. Sort of test these characters out doing. You imagine a scraggly rat-like tail. If you'd ever get a copy of it, you play it. It was the game was great and just kept giving you new characters. I mean, that's pretty much Lord of the Rings, isn't it? Never stops giving you characters. Oh, we're still introducing. We're at the climax of the third book, are we? Oh, more characters. Why not? Yeah, just diddling these. Can disguise themselves as rats or mice if caught out in the open. So wholesome. I mean, it would be wholesome until you realise why they need to disguise themselves. Sometimes this music is quiet. Sometimes it's loud. Who knows what it's going to be this time? The Don't Start Together thing, was that for stream or just hanging out? Yeah, we can do it on stream. We also need to do the remnant thing on stream. And more TTS. And Drawfee style doodle streams. And lots of other things we need to do together. So much to do on stream. Now louder music. Great. Yes, music. Suddenly music. What about Gartic Phone? It's in YouTubers play it and looks like so much fun. I have no idea what that is. Gartic Phone? The online telephone game. Give me one of those words. Okay. I have no idea if this will make noises. Okay, people join, write a sentence, people draw it, and then you gotta guess what the sentence was, I guess. Basic idea. Yeah, we can give it a go. Why not? You're on touchscreen. Oh no! You're in touchscreen. Interesting. Shuffles off in Gremlin. Don't shuffle off. All gremlins are welcome here. A telephone. Okay, cool. Well, bear that in mind and put it on the long, long list. You and friends trade prompts and such, and draw or describe whatever you see and see how far it gets from the original prompt. Okay, so it's sort of what we would call Chinese whispers. The Americans, I think, call it telephone. Also the chipmunks are here. I still want to give them a hat. Like I have the hat. Because Chinese whispers is outdated and bad. I imagine the idea is just insert people whose language you don't understand here. That's the idea. There was a goes off to hunt chipmunks in Gremlin because racism. Why Chinese? Why the need to? Why couldn't it just be whispers? Like I say, it was just it's an old name. There was an episode of Red Dwarf where that was the theme. Is the question: are Chinese whispers racist? And it basically people keep asking people because nobody actually knows the answer, and by the end of it, the question is completely different. That spoiled that joke, didn't it? Anyway, I just like the combination of goes off to hunt chipmunks in Gremlin because racism. Yeah, I think there are other cultures that use other, other variations of that with different cultures. I seem to remember it being called other things in different countries. There's Russian scandal. Yeah, Russian scandal, Russian gossip, Russian telephone. As far as I can tell, actually, this Wikipedia page basically says no one really knows why it's called Chinese Whispers. Like I say, it's almost certainly just because, hey, it's a language that's so incredibly dissimilar from our own. You're right, it's because folks were mocking the Chinese language. It's, yeah. Gremlins hate racism. And that does make sense, Chris. They're very behind on the stream. Don't worry, my brain's just behind on the day. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Gremlins, all gremlins care about are the spoons. They don't understand race. Give them a little tails, why not? If you're on mobile, there's going to be a long delay. Yeah, mobile tends to be sort of on a longer delay. I don't know whether it's got... No, I don't know enough about the architecture of phones and web browsers on phones, but yeah, I don't know. There's another character in this. Let's try and design them. How the internet and phone signals and everything works makes you feel like you're sinking into a wormhole, which thinking about how it works also makes you feel that way. That's fair. There's a fungus, there's a little mushroom friend. They're here to read you poetry. If you're not in my head, this story doesn't seem to make an awful lot of sense at the moment, but don't worry about it. Not take out mushroom at all. I like the side satchel, maybe the little backpack. To cap it off, they're a poet. They try. They try their best. Let's give you a big old chunky backpack. The poetry is totally amazing. What? Totally? Totally? I guess, yeah, if you take out a syllable, I guess. You're doing your best. Wonderful. I blame the touchscreen. Many hearts, what's going on? What? Not sporadic at all. It's less big boy and more the mushroom is small. It does not smell like spoon. So Gremlin looks like they're very scrambly and you're here for it. Absolutely. Nope, chipmunks again. Hello, Oobs. Hello, Oobs. It's actually a type of mushroom called a mini mushroom, so you're learning. There you go. How doobs? How doob the oob? I just came back from socialising with fam. Oh. Oops, missed the brief chat about Lord of the Rings games. They did. You telling me Oobs might have a possible interest in Lord of the Rings? Well, I never. Didn't mention much about the games, though. I mean, I only mentioned the films. I was mentioning that Piero from Dishonored, the voice actor of that is the same person who plays Wormtongue in the films. I found that out the other day. And that was my only conversation topic. Anything else to draw about these friends? Except for the Return of the King game, that lets the king of the dead swing over your head when you play Gimli. Gimli with a Y looks like an adverb. When you're playing particularly Gimli. My, you're looking very Gimli today. That's an adjective, but... Nope, stop doing that. Bloody Windows. First you screw up my drivers. Right. What did Gimli do now? He got tossed, if I remember correctly. You've played a few Lord of the Rings games. Cool. The War of the Middle-earth games. I remember playing one on Xbox that was quite, you know, nice. It had an upgrade system, and thus I liked it. I like upgrading skills. Anyway, yeah, if I ever actually get around to making this thing, I want it to have this sort of slightly sketchier, silly sort of look about it. And, you know, more interesting things. We watch different movies. I remember him saying, you're gonna have to toss me. Or something. The RTS ones, they're neat. I haven't played RTS one. I'm bad at RTSs. The context of that one is really what makes it. I mean, yeah. Context is important. Sorry, I'm not really paying much attention to chat. I should be. Explaining that Gimli asks an elf to toss him. I mean, you know. Relieves the tension, doesn't it? Played the Two Towers movie tie-in, War in the North, the RTS ones, JRPG ones, and the Assassin's Creed ones. Cool. Tolkien's main ship. Apart from Frodo and Sam. I mean, that's not a ship. That's canonical. Bilbo and Thorin. Don't know enough about that one. I know little about The Hobbit, except that it involves the word queer quite a lot. I remember reading it as a kid and going, oh, I like that word. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, I shouldn't use that word. And now I can again. Great. Language in Lord of the Rings books was always too wordy for you to last a page. It's good world builder, not a fantastic writer. That's my personal take on J.R.R. Tolkien. Very good imagination, not too great at writing a story per se. There's a lot of diversions and fluff, and songs. Too many songs. Bilbo and Thorin, rivals to friends to lovers. You were into it. This is the language of the interwebs that I'm not going to profess to understand. A little too big. Trying to go for a false perspective sort of thing. Still too big. Let's get the general shape. Doesn't matter, it's only a doodle. Foreshortening isn't quite working here, because this is what happens when you have characters with big heads. So how do you get the arms around them? Now whatever, you get the idea. You know why you've heard blah, blah, blah. Pickles, what? Behold, a spoon. Aha. This story is very silly, by the way. I'm sure you can already ascertain that. You only recently learned that Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings as a translation of a legend, so the names in Lord of the Rings are actually translations of the names and not the actual ones. So I have to go for a sec. Sounds about right. Reminds you of a webcomic where people are very small living in a kitchen. I mean, actually, the spoon should probably be bigger, shouldn't it? Maybe this is a teaspoon, I don't know. They are quite small. I mean, if this is foreshortened perspective, I guess this needs to be further like that. Close enough. It's the circle of spoon. It was only one away. Circle of knife. It was one away. Yeah, this should all probably be. Too much. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be what the kids call a zine? No, this was, I was alerted to a zine, and it was doing a thing where people could, I think, they didn't provide much information. where it was asking for fantasy stories involving the word treasure, and my mind came up with a story involving 2 gremlins and a spoon, and a mushroom. So it's not going to end up in a zine. It might not end up getting made. I don't know. But I thought I'd design characters anyway, because why not? Always wondered how you pronounce that. We were talking about that. I think it's zine because it's based on magazine. But it could be zine. It could be zhin. I don't know. There are lots of different ways to pronounce the letter zid. Zid. Apparently zid is a way to pronounce it as well. Okay, so let me have a quick look at how faces look in spoons. I'd normally just get a spoon at this point. Look at my face in a spoon, but thought I'd get reference. You'll commission it, 1 panel at a time. I guess it's quite difficult to get a photo.
Zine.
Zine. There we go. So it's probably Zine. It's quite difficult to get a photo of a face in a spoon because the camera would have to be in between. Now that I think about it.
Ute the zine.
Ute the zine. I've heard multiple pronunciations, but use the magazine one too. You trust Hazel with your life? Well, rip boobs. It depends. Are we looking on the inside or the outside? Problem is, it doesn't look all that different. Turns out warping geometry like this is quite difficult. Like looking in a spoon and going, oh, that's what my face looks like, and drawing it. That's one thing. Trying to imagine how a goblin gremlin head would look. Reflected inside of a spoon. Hazel is perfection. Or as she would pronounce it, perfect-T-I-O-N. Music suddenly made your Animal Crossing fishing very stressful. I think this is a chase music. They'll be shiny in those eyes, almost certainly. I should probably... Yeah, I need to sort of...
That wasn't necessary of you.
What?
But you have my thanks.
What?
Eat the zine.
Well... There we go. Hazel has had confirmation. I wanted to hear Robert's voice again. It's been a while. Actually, I think you were the last person to make Robert say something, so thanks. Yes, you made him say yeet. Robert, Jimmy, yeet. When you get a pension, you'll be able to afford a Switch. Marvelous. I do like the idea of getting a Switch, but I think by that time the Switch would be retro and quite expensive. It's Ute now. No, Ute is the past tense. The past tense second person participle. You trust Robert more than Hazel. That's fair. Again, Robert is a paid professional. So there's probably like a dent in it. This is not a pristine spoon.
I mean, if you paid me, I'd also pronounce things correctly.
Look, I can only afford to pay one person, and by I mean people who follow me. Don't believe that for a second, Hazel. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to work on that idea there, because that is a...
Meet me in the pit behind McDonald's, Chibi.
I mean, so to be fair, today she's on a roll. You know, what's that? 20 words correctly pronounced, as far as we know. Pretty good. Yeah, again, no idea if this will ever get made, but because, you know, time is an issue. It's a short story, it's not long, but
Your next Parsnips.
my next Parsnips, I haven't finished the ones I've got. Right. I'm trying out more. I tend to do too many flat drawings of characters, like, you know, all of these, which are just flat on, horizontal camera pointing at them and a wall in the background, and that's how I draw everything. So I'm trying to do some more things, and I feel like this story deserves some dynamic angles, because the characters are very skittish. That's also you. In fact, you twice in a bit behind McDonald's. Well, there you go. Hello. That spoon one? Which one? Oddly, that doesn't narrow it down much. That one? This one? Cute? You said cute, so I imagine that one. Yeah. So we've got Wick with a knife. These friends with a spoon. I should probably name them. I like short names that feel like, you know, like Fidget or, you know, Speckle or something like that. You know that one, the spoon one. Oh, you mean this one? That one. Spoon. This one, double-sided arrow. What else is there to draw? Oh, we could do like a kind of another forced perspective one. How do you do a top-down perspective when one of the characters is a mushroom? This one? No, that one? The other one. The knife. What? Knife and fork searching for spoons. Need to write a story involving a fork. Can Jethro have a pitchfork? That might be their weapon. I don't imagine they did a lot of farming. They were just there to look after the plants. Is this music helping with the fishing? Or? They have one now. I feel like a heisting with this music, yeah. The perspective of this needs a lot of work, but... You're diving now, and yes, it's helping immensely. Wonderful. When you focus on that boing sound, it gets really annoying. Yeah. It's a nice motif, but, you know. It is a jaw harp. Jaw harp? No, jaw harp. No, jaw hop? Look, it belongs to Spartacus. What can I say? Again, this needs a lot of work, but you hated the mushroom puns. I think you're projecting there. Nobody said anything about hatred. Yeah, what's going on? You're not projecting, you're diving. You're anti-ejecting? When there for the mushroom puns, cannot judge. Molding more in your brain. Molding. Projecting from the diaphragm. Hold the diaphragms and project like an actor and all that. Gonna turn into one of those clicker things from The Last of Us. Lovely. What else to do? What else to draw? The head's too big. I'm trying to draw things that would help me remember the story because I haven't actually written it down yet. It's just in my head. There's one more drawing I want to do, but I can't because that's spoilers. So here's a bet. Is this going to get made before or after Outliers? The next Outliers comic. Because that's another one of the things that's on my list of things that I need to make, and it just isn't being made. I have so many to-do lists, absolutely. The mines would have been blown by a ladle. Yeah. Or a wooden spoon. No, it's only the shiny ones. Gotta be shiny. Otherwise it's not treasure. Stop making me write jokes. I've come up with another joke now. I'll draw it quickly for the sake of memory. But what about fringe? It's not shiny. Needs to be shiny.
Cries in Gremlin.
So what does everybody have planned for the week ahead? Because apparently my conversational skills are below that of a hairdresser. To be fair, hairdressers have a lot of conversational skills. It's at least 80% of their job. I know it's just a cliche for a hairdresser to say, so what you got coming up in the week? You going somewhere nice on your holidays and all that. Last hairdressers I went to, the two hairdressers started having an argument. Which is great when one of them has a pair of scissors at the back of your head. Dentists have the most god-awful timing, though. I feel like they do it deliberately. Like those Armstrong and Miller sketches. To be fair, the last couple of dentists I've had have been pretty good in that department. They just get on with it. Yeah, dentist knows your mum, so asks after her a lot during appointments. I mean, I guess that's, takes the attention off you at least. Focus all your energy on trying not to cry. You're not going to have an answer for what you're doing next week, Mr. Dentist. No. I'm sure a lot of dentists understand that a lot of people do not like going to the dentist. No fairness, he's very nice, you just panic. That happens. Yeah, I know people who have very bad reactions to going to the dentist. It's a thing, but it's a known thing. And hopefully that's enough for people to, particularly dentists, to be able to recognise it and attempt to put you at ease where possible. If it's a good dentist, that is. A lot of people don't like math. A lot of kids don't like doing maths. That doesn't mean all maths teachers are sensitive to that concept. Why does this sound like every family party you ever went to? What dentist? Conversation on the music. Yeah, probably the music. Yeah, I think with a bit more refinement and experiment. Previous number. Sorry to kind of forget people are not mind readers sometimes. That's this. Look, communication. All you have to do is look at Twitter and remind yourself, oh yeah, communication's hard, especially in short form messages. What is this music? This is Rayman Origins. One of my favorite soundtracks. Full of drunk chipmunk gremlins, yeah. You deleted your account. I saw, yes. Like Twitter as Twitter is not a nice place to be. I use something called TweetDeck, which means I don't really go on Twitter. I just see the feeds that I explicitly tell to come to me. And I have been using that for about 10 years, and it's great because that means you don't have to go on Twitter.com. You don't have to look at Twitter to think maybe I am good at conversations. I mean, in my case, that's going a bit far, but. What else? What else can I doodle? Just because this turned up in the image search results, not part of the story. Maybe at least not as god awful at communicating as these people. Yeah. But yes, I do recommend the Rayman Origins and Legends soundtracks. They're both very good. There's a wide variety of types of music in there, and it's all catchy and fun and silly. I do still have the reflex of wanting to click on the app to kill time, but it's not there anymore, so now you started writing more. That's, yeah, trying to find little things that just take up time in your day because the internet says you should, and just getting rid of them is one step. The next step is to try and get yourself to actually do something useful with that time. But yeah, I'm glad you've started writing. That's cool. Being more productive. You're gonna murder some chipmunks. Still haven't come up with names for these friends, but I didn't have crap to fill a day with. It's actually a challenge. Everyone's lifestyle is different. The kitty swallowed up, possibly. Pen skitchy ASMR. Yes, the microphone's quite near the tablet. Also, this protective screen on this tablet is it's got holes in it, and that's probably most of the scratching sounds. Yeah, when the characters are like 30% ear, it's difficult to get a good pose up. That shows what's going on. But it's fine, don't worry about it. Wait, hang on, that's the leg. Oh. Yeah, it is. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to move it somewhere else that I don't have to draw it. I'm glad people like them. That's like a backbreaking way to lie down, though. I don't think they mind. I think they've had worse. Oops, ear as blanky. Oh, nice. That's how you sleep, on top of Gremlin. No, with Gremlin on top of them. So, wouldn't mind a gremlin pillow. I'm sure you can make a pillow shaped like a gremlin. My brain has stopped working. Implying that it was ever working in the first place. You please take these gremlins into plushies, please, and thank you. I'll put that on the to-do list. So maybe in 2057. And music says they're strolling through the forest. Now the music says they've gone to Mexico. Must have at some point you do have a PhD. I mean, I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't think I really worked that hard for it. Everyone always, like, it might just be the fact that my brain and maths work well together, but I feel like I could have put in a lot more effort than I did. You'd be surprised how little you need to get a PhD. Like, maybe BSc and MSc, there's exams and coursework and all that sort of stuff, but the PhD itself, if you're creative and you like what you're doing, it's not that hard. The first time ever you want a plushie, I'd like to make. Like, I don't want to say, you know, higher education is easy, but it's just something about a PhD that's just not as impressive as it sounds. That's all I want to say. You did the work for it and you got it. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel like I could have done a lot more. Anyway.
Shut up.
There was some sass behind that. I appreciate that from Hazel. But yeah, I just remember thinking that when doing it. Just like, you could be doing a lot more. But anyway, I'm sure that if you're braiding the matter vibe is a big part of the work done. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have gotten to the point to do a PhD. But it's mostly it's mostly creativity, I guess. If you're a creative person, a PhD is a lot easier than if you're not. And you assume that maths is all about, rigorous, be precise and whatever, and it's not. It's very, very wibbly wobbly. And you just got to find the little bits of the wibbly wobbliness that people haven't found before. That's all it is, really. And then you write it out. Probably seems easy because of the people who get that far are the people who have easier time doing that way. Possibly, yes. Like I say, there were definitely much harder times with the BSc and the MSc, but particularly the MSc, there was because it was maths and its applications is my master's, and me and applied maths don't get on. But your brother worked with some people who were getting their PhDs while he was getting his master's, so for him, that all PhD people are very depressed. That sounds not entirely inaccurate. It's a very sudden change in focus for academia. It's the first time that you're kind of on your own, in a sense. You don't have someone explicitly telling you, learn this, and then you'll have an exam at this time. It's much more, well, it's up to you. It's entirely up to you. The contents of the end of this is entirely up to you, etc., etc. It's a little more, like that. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. Who knows? But again, I feel like I could have done a lot more. If I wanted to, but I didn't. And now I'm here, drawing stupid things on the internet. Anyway, speaking of drawing stupid things on the internet, on Tuesday, we're going to continue with 16 symbols, now that we've entered a shrimp cave, maybe? Yeah. Shrimp cave. You need to pay Robert to tell you to shut up that you deserved your PhD. No. The Cave of Unearthly Delights. But it's in the earth. It's been unearthed, I guess. Unearthedly Delights. Yeah. The greatest show unearthed. Anyway. So that's happening on Tuesday. What else? I need to do a Patreon update because I haven't done one of those for about a month. And I don't think I've mentioned there yet that we're doing these Friday things. Friday streams on the Discord. Streams? It's not streams. Hangouts. Chats. Knitting circles. We still need to finish homework on the shrimp cave, yeah. All the shrimp balls are going to be great and confusing. Yeah, I'll just draw a lot of censored bars. It'll be fine. I also need to fix that carousel. It's very glitchy at the moment. Don't know why. Yeah, I thought there was something else I was gonna say. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, expect 2 Gremlins and a mushroom comic coming.
That wasn't necessary of you.
I did say no.
But you have my thanks.
See, even Eileen says it's not necessary.
Too bad. Shut up. You deserve your PhD. You're a smart funky numbers doctor now.
Now that's how you read a message, Hazel. Take notes. Robert was having none of my shit. Oh, look, that's statue of Mo. Statue was just a large black square for TOS reasons. He wasn't, yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, to be fair, you paid him for sass, and he delivered. See, again, paid professional. You cannot argue with results. Thank you everyone for coming along. I'm going to leave before Chippy donates again. Have a wonderful time, everyone. Have a great week. Look after yourselves. Do nice things for yourself. Maybe that nice thing is just laying down and closing your eyes and going, do that. No, quick. I'm ending. I will leave you with the remainder of this jazzy music. Goodbye!